My name is Dr. Sebinazi Dzikiti, and I'm a senior researcher at the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research. In the past 4 years, we've been involved with a project that is aimed at establishing the water requirements of fruit trees that are grown here in the Western Cape, and the focus was on apple trees from planting until the trees reach full bearing age. Now, this study was funded by the Water Research Commission in collaboration with World Growth Science, and there are 4 institutions which were involved in the study: the CSIR, Stellenbosch University, University of Pretoria, and the ARC. Now, the study was done in 2 main apple producing regions in the Western Cape, namely the Koe-Bokaveld near Ceres, and also in the coastal production area, namely the Elgin, Grabouw, Villiersdorp, Fireboom areas. And we collected data on the actual water used by the trees using different types of cephalosensors for young trees, medium canopy sized trees, and mature trees. For the mature trees, the focus was on exceptionally high yielding apple orchards, which are becoming the norm in South Africa. And these orchards typically give you 100 tons of fruit per hectare plus. Some go even as high as 120, 130 tons per hectare. Now, there was no information on how the water use varies from planting until the trees reach full bearing age, and we didn't know anything also about the water requirements of the high yielding orchards. In this study, we established that the actual water use by the orchards is strongly driven by the canopy size rather than the crop load, for example. The golden delicious cultivar, the trees tended to have larger canopies to protect the fruit from sunburn, and crisp pink trees had, mature trees had smaller canopies because of the way the canopies are managed to allow maximum light interception for red color development. Now, the small size of the crisp pink trees, in addition to the high yields of more than 110 tons per hectare that was observed in those orchards, had significant water savings. So, the main recommendation from this study is that the crop load does not influence the orchard water requirements that much, but it's how you manage the canopy which is more important. In the young orchards, non-beneficial water use from the orchard floor was in excess of 60% in most of the orchards because of the large proportion of the exposed orchard surface. Now, we recommend that in young orchards, it is quite important to reduce the non-beneficial water losses, for example, through using drip irrigation that minimizes the fraction of the orchard floor which is wetted, or narrow-range micro-sprinklers, and better still, mulching. We think is an important management practice to conserve water in the young orchards. So these are the main findings from this study. The thing with the amount of water use in relation to the plant density is such that when the orchards are still young, okay, the individual trees, the water used by the individual trees is a function of the canopy size of the trees. Now, at that stage, high density plantings with larger numbers of plants per unit area tend to use more water because the tree sizes are almost similar, whether you have high density planting or a low density planting. It is only when the trees are mature and each tree has occupied the full allocated space to it and the canopies are touching, okay, that the question of plant density doesn't come into effect because the canopy size cancels out. You have closure of the open spaces that you'd have in low density planting. So, I think mature orchards, plant density, yes, doesn't matter. But for young orchards, where the individual canopies, where the individual trees are still standing, on their own, plant density does make a difference, at least based on the methods that we used in this study.